Hi everyone, let's talk about Grand Austria Hotel and all of the brand new stuff for it. I have been a big fan of Grand Austria Hotel since it first released. I think it's a fantastic dice drafting game, probably one of the ones that was starting to get me into dice drafting, where the kind of value of the actions is constantly changing by the strength of those actions according to the dice that have been rolled for them. And you are constantly being tugged in different directions by trying to please the Emperor, by trying to satisfy the objectives, by trying to grab the right guests at the right time, all combined with, can I get any of this done? What are the actions telling me? Is it worth me just taking this tiny action with one die in it, just getting a tiny one strength action? Are the benefits I'm going to get from this worth me kind of taking this tiny turn when there are so many dice over in this action that maybe I don't really want to do, but I could have all of this stuff for later? But you know, there's a huge advantage between getting to put items on guests straight away and not having to waste money doing it later, because money can be really scarce depending on the way that you've gone. Loads of variability in the guests and the staff cards that come out and all of the objective cards and tiles that are in there. Just a fantastic, fantastic game. The new version of it, which has just been fulfilled on Kickstarter. I think new versions of the game, the deluxe one isn't going to be available, but new editions of the game are going to have the new iconography, like actual resources instead of just the cubes, and instead of just cubes you've got like wooden wine meeples and cake slices and stuff. So they have been upgraded. It's all, a little bit nicer. The cards are a bit clearer. It's got a nice little menu that I've lost telling you what all of the different staff cards do, which, these are things that I'd printed out previously for the old edition. So nice little quality of life things, nice upgraded player aids and final scoring aids and stuff. Just nice little extras. The game as it was worked, brilliantly, but yeah, it's been taken up with this, and it's got some new promo cards and stuff. The expansion is where all of the kind of new excitement is, and yeah. I have to say, I absolutely love the expansion. For one of the things that, I know that 4-player fans of Grand Austria Hotel won't be happy with me saying that the way the turn order works in it, in that it's snake turn order, right? So it's like player 1, 2, 3, 4, go and choose a die, then 4, 3, 2, 1. So there is you're not going to get first pick, but being last player gives you the opportunity of taking 2 dice in a row, so you know exactly what's going to be there. So there's that trade-off. But it also means if you are first player, it's going to be ages in a 4-player game until your turn again. It's still doable, and it was still enjoyable when we played it when it came out 4-player. But yeah, it's always been one that since when we've tried, it's maybe a bit too long for what we want. The expansion's got a module. It's got 5 new modules. It's got a module for removing that, and so you can take first player. It's just goes clockwise in turn order twice now, and so you can make sure you're going to be the first player next time by taking this action, which sometimes is going to be great because it gets you a resource. So you could get one of the secondary resources that you're not going to get as many of. You're going to need at least a strength 2 to be able to get one of that resource. You can just grab one that might just let you serve someone. You can take an action that might not even have any dice on it, and unlike the 6 action, you don't have to pay for it, but the downside is it's only going to be of strength 1. Other players will get a benefit for having been put right at the back of the turn order in a game with more players, but it's lovely having that option there. The 5th module that just adds more cards and tiles, more staff cards, a new set of objective tiles, a new set of objective cards. Just nice, more stuff, great. The other modules is where all of the tasty stuff lies. So we've got the ballrooms. Instead of sending guests to rooms, so removing kind of some of that necessity of, I have to get new rooms, I have to do this to get new guests in there. Well, now, what if you got champagne instead, which you could get as a choice from your resources or from tons of other rewards? You can send your guests to the ballrooms, which is a new way of scoring, a new way of getting a load of different bonuses. Just more things to look forward to, and when the scoring's coming up as well, the same time as the Emperor. So like the Emperor, this is coming up. Do I need to get someone in there? I'm going to lose 5 points if I'm not going to do that. Just like the Emperor, I'm going to get this punishment in there. But can I earn more points than that rather than having to do this? Or is what I'm doing in the meantime going to offset the penalty I'm going to get from there? Or at the same time, this could be something you really focus on, especially if some of those new things come out. that are going to reward you with champagne, making it a little bit easier to do, that are going to reward you with points. There's an objective for having a certain number of people out in the ballrooms. You know, all of this can just add an extra choice, an extra thing tugging you in another direction. So can the celebrities, which I can't quite fit on all of the camera, but the three coloured dice that represent some of that replace some of the base dice when that module is turned on, give you an extra cost for taking that particular die, but also an extra incentive that for the rest of the round, I'm going to have this particular ability. So, you know, whenever I play a staff card, I'm going to get an extra 2 points and a champagne that might now let me serve a particular customer that wants champagne, or be able to go to the ballrooms if you're playing the modules together. You can play them individually if you want, or lump them all on top of each other if you are experienced with them. So if I can get this with a 5 action, which is going to let me play a staff card anyway, then brilliant, I can activate it straight away because I'm only going to have it this round. I'm going to get some points anyway for taking it, and they're worth more as they stay out there. But so maybe with my second action now, maybe I want to put another staff card out so I can get this bonus again, and then feed off that in the next round. Maybe get a celebrity that's going to reward me when I get points or when I move up the Emperor track. It all kind of pinballs off each other and combined in a beautiful way. And finally, the hotel entrances. I'm not a big fan of the day hotels in the base game. So as well as... Oh, you can't see this anyway, so I'm okay to ruin Marty's hotel. So as well as everybody gets the same on the night side, everybody gets a different configuration on the day side, but it's going to be like where the Emperor tiles are going to be worth way more to you because they're grouped up in 4s or money. Yeah, it's probably just... It could just be me. Obviously, I've not done any research or big plays into this. But yeah, I'd always rather have the money. It can be worth a ton of points at the end. And yeah, it just gives you way more flexibility in strengthening every action that you take, in being able to take more of these celebrities, in being able to put more staff cards out, choose the 6 action. Just, yeah, it's way more useful. Obviously, it's fantastic being at the top of the Emperor track and just getting a point every time you would earn a place on there. But yeah, I would always go for the ones that give you money lower there. But anyway, instead of having those day boards giving you the different hotels, now we can have hotel entrances. There is an auction for these, which I'm not a big fan of, but that's partly because if Grand Austria Hotel was our favourite game and we played it all the time and I didn't have all of these other things to play and film, then we would get used to this and know the value and recognise the power of some of these special abilities and have a better idea for an auction. Whereas when we're stepping in here, I don't really know how much they're worth. Do you want to just have a hotel entrance and we'll just play that way? Yes. But yeah, they can have wildly different effects. So not just starting with a few extra resources is a nice little change, but being able to take dice from a different column into the action you were about to take, getting a bonus based on the total of the 2 dice you're taking, which can completely influence the actions you want to take, because maybe you desperately need a room to put a guest in. Well, if I can take dice that will total 2 or 12, I will get a free room and a point, so that will let me do this extra thing, or get me the last space on the Emperor track that's going to stop me being punished, or get me that reward. Just loads of beautiful new extras on there. It is, as the rulebook warned me several times, it is a bit much having all of this on at once, but I think it works. Like, if you just added these in bit by bit, it's not much of a leap to include. It's not that much extra. The ballroom module is the most extra rules to, you know, okay, put them in there, you need a champagne first, and even then it's not that many rules. It's quite like putting them in a room, but they're going out on here first and you need to pay some champagne in there. All of the other modules say just little bits extra, just a couple of little rules for the start player, a couple of little rules for the dice, but the difference that they can make to the game is absolutely beautiful. I'm not quite sure. I couldn't really get a definitive answer. I think this was I know it was Kickstarter. That's why I got it here. I backed it. But hopefully this is going to be in the Lookout store, because I think for fans of Grand Austria, it's a fantastic addition. I am always going to include at least some of the modules in this. I think I'll always include the start player at higher player counts, always have those just extra cards in there, and I would definitely play with at least one of the main modules in there. I'd probably always have the hotel entrances on there. Don't know if I would always have the auction. Works absolutely brilliantly. I think it's a really, really fantastic expansion. Grand Austria Hotel is great, and it's even better with this. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I've got loads more playthroughs. I've got a Patreon you can help out on. I am going to stream this in about 10 minutes. I need to get it ready for a solo game. Bye, everyone.